It's been 1 year since Black Myth Wukong's record-breaking release. Many might say it was a global phenomenon, but 12 months later, was it worth the historic hype? What's next for the Black Myth series, and ultimately, is Black Myth Wukong worth it 1 year later? Black Myth Wukong is an action RPG deeply rooted in Chinese mythology, and is based on Journey to the West, one of China's great classical novels. You play as the Destined One, and follow in the footsteps of the legendary Monkey King Sun Wukong. The game blends traditional Chinese mythology with modern action RPG mechanics, which makes it feel like a mix of God of War and Dark Souls, but with a Chinese aesthetic and storytelling approach. It introduced an international audience to Chinese mythology and resonated with its target audience in a big way. What really made it special was that it was based on major Chinese mythology, and it even featured locations that were inspired by real Chinese cultural sites. Clearly, Game Science was passionate about the project, from its rich story all the way to its unique action RPG elements. This is because not only was the development team deeply invested in the lore, but they were also fans of the genre. According to the director and producer, Feng Ji, they focused on the action RPG genre after a company-wide survey revealed that action RPGs were the games that were most played by the staff. They used this as a way to connect and better empathize with players because they themselves were players of the type of games that they were creating. Globally, the game introduced millions of gamers to an entirely new mythology that they were mostly unfamiliar with. Most gamers outside of China had little to no experience with the story of Sun Wukong, which made it a cultural exchange that other RPGs to date just really couldn't offer at that scale. In the end, the game truly resonated because it combined Game Science's technical excellence with cultural authenticity. It not only gave its Chinese player base a sense of pride by respecting Sun Wukong's journey, but also introduced a rich Chinese tale to a global audience. Black Myth Wukong scored an 82 on OpenCritic, and while solid, this still shows that it wasn't necessarily the universal darling amongst the critics. It was praised for its impressive boss fights, combat system, and visuals, but it was called out for its lackluster exploration. It seemed like many critics either really enjoyed the game or thought it was just okay. However, player feedback seemed to tell a very different story. The game today has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, with 96% of over 1.17 million user reviews being positive. In addition, the game sold exceptionally well on its release day and reached over 2.2 million concurrent players, which was a massive achievement for a Chinese developer's debut title. On top of being nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, it also received 3 other nominations at the 2024 Game Awards, including Best Action Game, Best Art Direction, and Best Game Direction. Since the launch of the game, it has evolved significantly through updates and patches. In September 2024, it received an update that fixed a variety of issues in the game, as well as made some changes to a number of different items. December 2024 brought a massive update which added bug fixes, new gameplay features, new equipment, and quality of life improvements. One of the major additions was a new challenge mode. This challenge mode added 2 challenges that players could find at Keeper Shrines after completing the game, called Return of Rivals and Gauntlet of Legends. The update also finally introduced an in-game map called the Journeyer's Chart. The last major addition in the update was a set of 4 special armor pieces to help celebrate the Chinese New Year. It also received an update in February 2025, which added mainly bug fixes to the game, and an update in April 2025, which added additional language and NVIDIA DLSS integration. On August 20th, 2025, 1 full year after its release to PC and PS5, the game was finally released on the Xbox Series X and S. Initially, it was supposed to release alongside the PC and PlayStation releases. Many speculated that this delay was actually due to a secret exclusivity deal that Game Science had made with PlayStation close to release. However, according to Game Science, this was actually due to optimization challenges, especially with the Xbox Series S. Limitations aside, it seems as though Game Science was able to figure it out, and has had a successful launch as well, with many Xbox users saying that they're happy to finally dive into the game. Outside of its challenge mode, Black Myth Wukong has not received any major DLC. However, at Gamescom 2025, the next title in the Black Myth series was confirmed by Game Science, called Black Myth Zhongkuai. Black Myth Zhongkuai will follow the story of the ghost-catching god who travels between Hell and Earth. While details on the game and its story are still scarce, there is some speculation that we can gather based on the legend of Zhongkuai. According to folklore, Zhang Kuai held academic honors which were stripped away from him by the emperor. Because of this, he took his own life and was sent to the underworld. However, Yanlao Wang, who is the judge of the underworld, saw potential in him. He gave Zhang Kuai the title of the King of Ghosts and told him to hunt, capture, and essentially maintain discipline among them. According to the Game Science website, Black Myth Zhang Kuai will follow the same action RPG formula as Black Myth Wukong. While no release date is set just yet, the Game Science team has confirmed that it will come to PC as well as mainstream console platforms. Many had hoped that we would receive more news on a continuation to the Destined One's journey, and while we did not receive any info just yet, that doesn't mean that the Wukong series is completely done. Game Science's website for Black Myth Zhang Kuai confirmed that something is still in the works by saying, "To all friends who love Black Myth Wukong, the westward journey won't end here." Game Science had previously confirmed that DLC was currently in the works that would continue the westward journey. However, it is still a mystery on when and what exactly that will be. It has been a fantastic year for Black Myth Wukong, with even more to come in the near future. If you haven't experienced Black Myth Wukong yet, now is the perfect time to jump in. The base game is in a great state with more polished, quality of life improvements and features than when it was released, and looking back at this past year, it's clear that Black Myth Wukong as well as Game Science has established itself as a legitimate new player in the action RPG space, and is representing Chinese gaming on the global scale. What do you think? Have you played Black Myth Wukong recently? Are you excited for Black Myth Zhang Kuai? Or are you waiting for the DLC to dive back in? Let us know, and thank you for watching Game Rant. Don't forget to game on, and we'll see you next time.